Company for BoCo. Written by The Buried Truck. Narrated by Nigel Hoppingston. And produced and adapted for audio by Peter Rockley. BoCo enjoyed taking the night goods. The evening air was crisp, and it was nice running with no other engines around. Best of all, the trucks were too busy sleeping to cause any mischief. One foggy evening, he arrived on the other railway right on time. He shunted his trucks and made his way to the sheds. The yard was big, but BoCo never had any trouble finding his way. Tonight, on the other hand, was different. The fog was so thick that he had completely lost his bearings. Strange, he muttered to himself. I'm certain the sheds were around here. Suddenly, BoCo could see the outline of a building ahead. Oh, finally, he smiled. But his relief was short-lived. As he drew closer, he saw it wasn't the big shed with the mainline diesel slept in. It was smaller, more akin to the old sheds on Sodor. It was far shabbier, and looked as though it had been vacant for a long time. A shed's a shed, old fellow, sighed his driver. I'll go mad trying to find our way through this fog any longer. BoCo was uneasy. Something felt odd, but he didn't want to navigate through the fog any further. Instead, he rolled silently into the shed and said goodnight to his driver. Now, BoCo was alone. He stared out into the yard. All was silent. No trucks being pushed around, not even the sound of the diesel's horns. It was as if the fog muffled the world around him. Why, hello there! BoCo jumped. Beside him was a very old tender engine. His blue paint was marked with soot, and his face was smudged. Dark, heavy bags hung under his eye. Looked as though he hadn't slept for days. It isn't often I have visitors, he said in a warm but weary tone. At last, BoCo found his voice. I'm very sorry, he stuttered. I didn't mean to intrude. My driver and I got lost, and in the fog... No need for apologies, chuckled the old engine. Fog can lead you to places you don't expect to be. Besides, it's nice to have company for a change. Thank you. I must admit, I'm surprised. I've been taking the night goods for years, yet I've never seen this shed before. Or you, for a matter of fact. The old engine chuckled again. You're not the only one. Seems I'm invisible to most who work here. The engine eyed BoCo up and down. You're a Sodor engine, aren't you? How did you know? Well, you're far different from the diesels who live around these parts, which were courteous for a start. I was a Sodor engine too, many moons ago. BoCo was surprised. Yes, it's true, laughed the old engine, spying the look of shock on BoCo's face. Yes, I used to work at the big station. A lovely place that was. I only wish I had appreciated it more at the time. Well, why don't you return? Asked BoCo. I'm sure the Fat Controller would welcome you back with open arms. Oh, no indeed, said the old engine sadly. He didn't have patience for an engine like me. Oh, nonsense, smiled BoCo. He certainly won't want you to be in a state like this. I tell you what, you can come back with me tomorrow. The old engine ignored this. Tell me, is Edward still around? Oh yes, I work at his branch line, BoCo replied. Glad to hear it, smiled the old engine. Kind soul he was. I only wish I'd been as kind to him. What did you say your name was? Asked BoCo. It's getting late, yawned the old engine. Better get some sleep now. We'll finish our chart in the morning. BoCo was curious why the engine didn't answer his question, but he had to admit he was feeling a bit drowsy, and it wasn't long before he fell asleep. BoCo's sleep was anything but peaceful. All night long, he dreamt of the scrapyards. Old engines were lined up in the sidings. Their shadows danced in the flicker of the cutters' torches. Violent red light illuminated the inside of a shed, and all BoCo could hear was a muffled pleas for mercy, drowned in the sound of the torches searing metal. BoCo woke with a start. It was daylight now. The fog burned off by the Monday morning. He breathed a sigh in relief that his dream was over. "I hope I didn't keep you up," he said, addressing the old engine. "I had an awful—" He stopped. The old engine and shed were gone. At that moment, two of the mainland diesels rolled in. "You all do a number on your engine, staying out in the cold all night," said one. "But," stuttered BoCo. "Where's the shed? And the engine?" "Batty old BoCo," laughed the other diesel. "Strange breed those soda engines are." The diesels rolled away, laughing. When BoCo's driver arrived, he was surprised too. "Sheds don't just disappear," he said, scratching his head. It was then he noticed something on the ground beside the rails. He bent down for a closer inspection. "Looks like a number plate," he said. "It says 87546. Could we take it back with us?" asked BoCo. The driver brought the number plate into the cab, and BoCo set off for home, with much on his mind. He didn't quite know what to make of the old engine, the disappearing shed, or the dream. He did know, however, that he would be having quite a long talk with Edward.